Hey folks, Matt Williams here. I'm in Spring, Texas with Mr. Bob Swystall. Mr. Swystall here is the owner of Tejas Taxidermy, and he is one of the longest standing Pope and Young scorers in the state of Texas. And he has been enlisted to tackle the chore of telling the tape on the A.J. Downs buck. A.J. killed this deer on September the 29th, opening day of bow season. And this deer, we're going to find out today potentially where this deer is the largest free-ranging white-tailed deer ever taken by a bow hunter in the state of Texas. It's got 28 scoreable points, and as you can see, this is one stud duck here, Bob. I mean, I know y'all are going to possibly have quite a chore scoring this deer, and I wanted you to just talk to me a little bit about what's going to go into telling the tape on this buck.
Oh yeah, Matt, this thing is it's huge. It's scored a lot of deer in my time, but I've never scored one that has all these points. This particular buck has 3 tines on this side and 3 on this side that can be classified as main beams. And we got to decide which ones are which ones are the G2s and the G3s on this thing. If you look at it, it's very hard. There's no distinct, hard to tell what's G2 and G3. And of course that's going to affect your circumference. You got to measure these things, and you've got to sit there and figure out which one of these tines in here will come out the longest, give you your best score. And you go off to each of them as the other scoring on the ones that are sharing the main base, or same common base. But it'll take a while. This thing may take into later on tonight before we finish this thing.
Swystall was assisted in the scoring process by Randy Reeves, a certified BNC scorer with years of experience under his belt. Like his colleague, Reeves was of the opinion that the antlers on the Downs buck were going to be a booger to measure. On a difficulty scale of 1 to 10, he said it ranked as close to an 11 as any he has ever seen.
A lot of questions. I mean, just like we were talking about these little gaps in between the antlers. I mean, you first look at it, you think you got the questions, but the more you look at it, the more questions you have, you know, so.
Yeah, we keep coming up with questions. It's not getting like we're answering everything. We keep coming up with more and more stuff.
Reeves and Swystall toiled over the enormous rack for roughly 5 hours en route to coming up with a final score that is sure to shock deer hunting junkies across Texas and beyond. This buck didn't just beat the former state record, it crushed it. All total, the Downs buck grew a remarkable 118 4/8 inches of abnormal bone. That figure, combined with heavy mass and all sorts of other goodies, drove the gross score to an amazing 263 1/8. After deduct, the net score stands at a whopping 253 3/8. Now, to get a true feel for the size of this warhorse, consider its net score tops the former Pope and Young state record by nearly 2 feet. Pope and Young's Glenn Heisey also indicated the Downs buck is the highest scoring non-typical entered in the record book during the last 2-year recording period. It also ranks as the number 9 Pope and Young non-typical of all time. How long will the record hold? My original prediction was Downs might take it to his grave. Then, in mid-January, came word of a potential challenger taken in Grayson County by 50-year-old Robert Taylor of Aubrey. Taylor arrowed the huge buck on December 29th while hunting on a tiny 4.7-acre tract of property he owns adjacent to Lake Ray Roberts. The rack reportedly carries 42 scoreable points and registered a green net score of 249 2/8 after being taped for the Texas Big Game Awards program by BNC scorers Jennifer Barrow and Eric Stanishek. The rack must now undergo a mandatory 60-day drying period before it can be officially scored for Pope and Young records. This new development creates what is turning out to be a deer hunting version of a good old-fashioned horse race for the Texas state record non-typical title. Who's going to take it? With 2 freaks like this, it's too close to call at this point. The winner will likely be decided in early March when the 2 heavyweights go head-to-head for panel scoring as part of the upcoming Pope and Young convention in Dallas. We'll keep you posted on the results. For Texas Fish and Game, this is Matt Williams.